Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are reviewing the best tablet from Honor. So this is the Tablet Tab or Tablet 9 from Honor, and it is fundamentally their best version of their tablet available on the market right now. Now, there are some variations globally. This is obviously the EU-based one, and I got the 128 gigabyte one with the 8 gigs. But what I want to talk about with you is whether or not it's something you should consider and what the pros and cons are, especially if you're already inside the Honor ecosystem. Let's get into it. Right, okay, so we're talking about today the Honor Tab 9, and this tablet, whilst very good looking, has its drawbacks. It's got some strengths and it's got some weaknesses. Let's first of all talk about the design as always. So taking a little look around this beast, we've got a 12.1 inch panel here, or 12.1 inch screen device. It has very minimal bezels around the edges, which is a really, really nice feature. They're actually pretty symmetrical. So actually what you're dealing with is something that looks very much the same all the way around. So really it doesn't matter which way you have the orientation in order to hold it, which is good because it means that you haven't got thicker edges on one side over the other. So that's pretty good. Now the screen itself is an LCD screen. So it's an IPS 120 Hertz screen, which means you're going to get very, very crispy movement, but it's not as bright and poppy as an AMOLED screen. However, when you look at that, it really isn't that bad at all, is it? It's really not that bad. So it is good to look at. It's not the best. You do get a little bit of color bleed in the corners, etc., but you do have to look quite closely, and they've got them working really, really well. You can pull up some magazine style images, and you can see there just how lovely some of those images really are. Now, one thing you may be seeing already are the reflections. This thing really suffers from reflections. So if you are out and about, that is something that's going to be a bit of a problem. But carrying on with the design, we go from the top, we've got the power button, which is a very small, easy to lose button right at the top there. And very close to it is the volume rocker up and down. These two, you'll get confused all the time. You won't feel one over the other, and sometimes you'll kill the screen when you actually want to turn the volume down. A little bit annoying, but they are there, and obviously once you get used to them, it's okay. We've got some microphones at the top there. Then as we work around, we've got the USB Type-C, and we've got some speaker grills. Now this bad boy does have very good sound, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We go to the underneath, we've got more speakers underneath, and we go to the other side, and we have yet more speakers. So this actually has an 8 speaker setup, and is by far one of the redeeming features of this device. Looking onto the back side, we've got, actually, I quite like this camera bump. I do like this camera design. It's quite nice. It's quite stylish, actually. It mentions there that it's got AI camera capabilities. Are you going to use it really for its camera? Other than maybe for a video call, you really shouldn't. I'll put some examples of obviously what the front-facing camera is like and what the rear-facing camera is like. Okay, so this is the forward-facing camera filming at 1080p. It does not go up to 4K on this forward-facing video, but you tell me. I haven't used an external mic. This is coming from the device itself. So you tell me whether you think this is a good quality, and let's take a look at the reverse side, which I believe we can film in 4K. Okay, here we are filming in 4K on the reverse camera. Now, obviously, hopefully this should be not only a lot clearer and a lot better. Let's also check what the audio quality is like as well. You tell me, does this pick up my face well, and what's the stability like as well? Let's see. You're not going to go out and about and take photos or videos with this giant tablet in your hand, so don't worry about that. But for the purposes of video calls, for Google Teams, or for even FaceTime now, because you can send a link, then this is going to work absolutely fine. And the front screen is perfectly good and very, very clear and very, very large in order to get that. But the quality isn't going to be astounding, and it's not going to impress anyone massively. Okay, moving on to the chipset. So this is actually running the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1. What does that mean? It means that it's a mid-range chipset. That means it's at the sort of middle range. It's not a flagship in any way, but it's capable of doing everything that the average user is going to get out of it. If you are a pro gamer or you really want to push the boundaries of gaming, this thing is going to struggle a little bit. But if you enjoy gaming that's not massively intense, then this is going to be absolutely fine. Now, I've been using this device for just over a week now, and my first impressions are this. First of all, it feels really nice in the hand. Now, it's a good even weight. There's not too much weight on one side or the other. It's very well built. I mean, it doesn't look shoddy in any way. It's got a very solid, hard metal feel to it. It doesn't feel hollow or plasticky or anything like that. The glass is really smooth. The edges are very, very nice. So this is a very well engineered, really good looking device, I have to say. But one of the major problems is you're very unlikely to want to hold it without a case on it. One, it's quite slippery in the hand. Of course, it depends on where you are. If you're sitting on a sofa or if you're lying in bed, it's okay. But propping it anywhere means that it tends to slide off things really, really easily. So you wouldn't want to prop it up on your bedside table or anything like that, which is why I purchased this protective case. But it normally and generally comes with a keyboard case, but for some reason on the website itself, I wasn't able to order the keyboard case that comes with this device. I could only actually get hold of the regular covering case, which suffices and works very, very well. You just snap it in like that, closes it up, and offers pretty much all-round protection. And of course, it allows me to prop it up and have it like that. And that obviously works really, really well and is ideal for viewing and so on and so forth. But you can't obviously use a keyboard unless you have a Bluetooth third-party keyboard, which does work very, very well. But the case that comes with the keyboard is obviously far more convenient, but open to your choice. But my point is, you're definitely going to want to get a case for this tablet because it's just big enough that it's actually a little bit cumbersome in your hands, and you are going to want to protect it as well, because you wouldn't want to drop this from any height onto any surface harder than a carpet, because the chances are it's definitely going to shatter. So you're going to want to protect this as best you can, and it is quite unwieldy. 12.1 is a big size, so it's too heavy to hold in one hand for any longer than 2 or 3 minutes. 5 minutes of holding this, and you're going to start getting aches and pains in your hands. So having a case or something to prop it up with is going to be absolutely fundamental. The weird thing about this case that I've just observed is that when you close it, it normally has a open to wake function. This one doesn't. This is the first tablet case I've come across in a very long time, actually that I can even remember, where it doesn't actually wake when closing and opening. So if I do that, it doesn't do anything. It's not waking up the screen. I've never come across that before, or at least not in the recent years. So that's a really, really odd feature. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a mistake, but either way, it doesn't wake when I opened the case. So, and this is the official case. This isn't a third-party one. So very strange. Not sure what Honor are doing there, but it is what it is. Moving on. Software. This has got 7.2 of their Magic OS operating system. Now, Magic OS is okay. It is very, very good. It definitely has some strengths that I'm going to talk about, but it doesn't come with Android 13 out the box, which is a little bit of a shame. Now, does that matter? Not massively. They'll probably push out an update very, very soon, ideally with Android 14 and, of course, with Magic OS 8, which is on the flagship device, which is the Magic 6, which is actually what I'm filming on right now. But it does have some very cool features in that you can do screen sharing from another on a device onto this device as well. Now, where we see this working really, really nicely is when we can actually do Magic Ring sharing. So we can actually do a screen share, dragging over the phone device over to the tablet, and we can now see that here there is a multi-screen collaboration. And any other devices that are in the area that are Honor devices will be picked up in this Magic Ring. And you can actually slide the card over to where you want to display your next item. So there we have it. Now we're connected on both devices. And I can do all the actions on my tablet here that will function on the phone as well, which is really, really clever. So now what I've realized is that I've disconnected from the actual Wi-Fi because it was an unstable connection. And what this will now do is directly connect with the phone. Now the phone doesn't have to be very nearby. I can put that somewhere else, further away, and I can still control the phone via the tablet. So this is a very unique ecosystem protocol from Honor, and it really is very, very cool. I really like the way that works, and it's very, very clever. So that is a very powerful feature that is only available on Honor devices. I also believe Huawei do them, but Huawei, again, are not popular in the West, so, or at least legally not popular. So this system really is very, very clever indeed. So that feature is really, really cool. The other issue that I've had is that it does actually have some compatibility issues with widgets in particular. I use a calendar app all the time called Business Calendar. Now that's obviously for my scheduling and so on, and I fundamentally use a widget that always goes on any Android device on the top here that I use. Now I've got the Google, the standard one there, but it isn't really very good. I use the business calendar on the side there, and it just isn't compatible. It doesn't present the text at all clearly. It doesn't arrange it. It's like it's all bunched up or not configured. Whether that's an app issue or whether that is a Honor issue, it also doesn't work on the Honor 6 as well. So it's either an app compatibility issue or it's the Magic OS system that doesn't like me using a third-party calendar app. It's the only issue really that I've had with apps on any Honor device. But it didn't work also on the V2 as well. So on the folding phone that I had before, it also didn't work on there. So otherwise, everything else seems to be working really, really well. Obviously, you've got the choice of having swipe up or swipe down. You can have it so that the apps all appear on your main screen and you've got hundreds of windows. I don't really like that. I prefer to have the app drawer there, swipe up. All of that is configurable. And it is very versatile and it does look good. It comes with a little bit of bloatware. So it comes with booking.com and Facebook preloaded. You can just delete them. It's no big deal. And it does work very well. For a mid-range chipset, I've had no crash problems whatsoever. I've been able to open everything at a time. You can multitask. You can have multiple windows open at once. So here we can actually have a tile on there running an app. That's giving me instructions. Every action allows you to have an action, gives you an instruction, which is very useful. In conclusion, the Honor Pad 9 is a very decent budget device. Now, I managed to get hold of this for just over 200 euros. I got it because I bundled it in when I purchased my Magic 6 Pro from Honor. So I got it for 209, which is a crazy good deal. Now, if you can find it at that price, and I will link it in the description below, at the best possible price, but I can't guarantee you're going to get it at that price unless you bundle it with something else that you purchase. The normal price is either $399 or around $350, which is normal. But I feel that you could find an equally good device, maybe from Lenovo, for the same price, the same size, similar specs, but you just get a little bit more value for money. Now, if you'd like a comparison between this and the Lenovo, let's say the M11 or the M12 Pro, that would be really cool. Let me know, but otherwise you're getting a good build quality, a very pretty screen, excellent sound. The sound on this really is one of the redeeming features because the sound quality is crispy and it's got 8 speakers, as we've already said. Does have a few quirks, couple of software issues, but it is really good. And you are going to want a case because carrying this thing around is quite tricky. If you can get hold of the keyboard case, that's even better. But again, I couldn't get hold of the keyboard case directly from Honor, and I couldn't get hold of the pen, which it does have support for as well, the stylus, because they're not available in my country. If they are in yours, you'll know because you'll go on their website. But otherwise, definitely make sure that you get yourself a case to protect this, but also for the ease of use and holding, because holding it in your hand does become tiring after a period of time. So don't forget to like and comment. If you've got one of these in your own home or you're thinking about getting one, put a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, as always, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notification of the next video, which I'm really excited about. Otherwise, have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.